Hello again, it is I, Frieza700, and we are back with some Warhammer 40K lore. This time we are going over everyone's favorite Smurfs, the Tau.
After the...
Now the Tau are a Xeno race, so already you Imperial fanboys don't like them. But let's hear them out. What are they? Essentially, they're highly technologically advanced, but they're a rather minor faction. In fact, Warhammer 40K, we ran across them as nothing more than just nomads. But all of a sudden, warp storms appeared in the area, so the Imperium said, fuck it, we're not gonna try going in there. 10,000 years later, the warp storms end, and now there's this galactic civilization. So in 10,000 short years, these guys went from hunter-gatherers to full, technologically superior beings. Now, are they a big threat or a small threat? They're actually very minor. Very fucking minor. Like, the Eldar are a pretty minor case to worry about, but the Tau are not even on the Imperial's radar right now. In fact, that's kind of sad is that the Tau suck dick at fighting. Their only tactic is to really snipe you from a long distance, or try ambushing you. Now you may be wondering why I say the Tau suck dick at fighting, and the main reason why is because every time that the Tau have a military incursion, it's usually a small force that attacks the Tau and almost damn near wipes them out. Every fucking time. And every time the Imperium sees us, they're always looking at it with question marks above their head going, huh, that would have maybe took us like one fleet to send at it, not our whole empire to wipe out this one tiny threat. But to the Tau, they're very new to the galaxy, so they're allowed this one-time slip-up for every individual race. And this is where we get to what the Tau technology really allows them to do. So the Tau are not only technologically advanced, but they're also technologically adaptive. I know, it sounds strange. Technologically adaptive? What the fuck does that mean? Well, that means that their guns and their vehicles and their armor can be easily changed to fit the circumstance. So what does that mean in practice? That means in practice that, yes, their standard issue plasma gun shoots one shot, takes a few seconds, shoots another. Well, if they're fighting someone who's like a countless swarm like the Tyranids, that's a very useless gun. So they'll modify it to not only go faster rounds, but in case the Tyranids all of a sudden develop an immunity or a resistance to the energy in the weapon, then the Tau can change the ammunition type as well. So now it's like, okay, it sprays instead of sitting there one shot at a time, but now it also is a combustion gun essentially. This is what makes the Tau such a powerful force, is this sense of adaptability. Their tactics don't really change. Their tactics stay the same. What changes is their technology. That's something I want you viewers to understand, is that, yes, the Tau change their technology all the fucking time. They may go back to earlier forms of technology, like using bullets, but their tactics stay the same. They will still try to ambush you, still shooting at you from a long range, still avoiding melee combat. I know, avoiding melee combat. This is the first species that we see who actually opts out of fighting in melee combat, which is weird considering that they hold ceremonial daggers on them at all times. But those are for ceremony purposes, not for actual fighting. Now, let's get into what their society is like. Well, their society is a caste system, so it's feudal, essentially. If you're born in this rank, you're only gonna be and live and die in this rank. That's it. You're only gonna fuck people in this rank, you're only gonna reproduce in this rank, your children are gonna be in this rank, you're gonna die in this rank, that's it. Well, it's not oppressive, and that's the interesting part. It's a feudal society that isn't oppressive. Huh, go figure, right? But how does the caste end up? Well, I have them all on display for you right here. So we got earth, water, air, fire, and ethereal. Now, these aren't elementals. These aren't Avatar, the last fucking airbender. No, this is just the title of the caste that goes with more or less the characteristics of the name. So, fire, that one's obvious, like everyone wants to know what fire is, right? Fire is the warriors. This is all the fighting, all the generals, everything. All of your Tau infantrymen are fire cast. There is no water cast Tau soldiers, there is no bullshit like that. Tau fire cast are strictly soldiers. That is it. That is all that they will be, and that is all that they strive to be. Now, physiologically, they are a little bit bulkier than other Tau, and that's something that people do notice, is that when you breed these people in specific ways for specific characteristics like these people do, it's bound that they're going to start looking a little different from each and every person. The Tau who are in the fire cast are extremely bulky. The Tau in the water cast are going to be extremely charming. The Tau in really the air cast is the most interesting because they are just good at flying. That's it. They just love to fly. And that's the air cast. Water cast is more or less, how do you assimilate alien races into your species? How do you do diplomacy? Water cast. Water casts are great. And they have such soft features that just about every alien species can look at a Tau from a water cast and start seeing similarities between their face and theirs, which is odd, but it's actually effective. It allows people to be assimilated into the Tau hierarchy. Then there's the Earth cast. Earth cast is more or less your builders, your merchants. They're those people. They're basically the middle class. They will do whatever they can to build stuff, design stuff, construct stuff. That's cool. Now the Ethereals. The Ethereals are the most mysterious of all of them because we don't know too much as to how they succeed in their role, but we do know what they do. They are the leaders of Tau society. They are the ones who issue statements, edicts, stuff like that. They're always the ones who are in charge of the temples or in charge of the government. Now, someone who is in the fire cast cannot lead. Someone who is in the water cast cannot lead. They may be used for similar purposes, like a fire cast is allowed to lead his troops in battle. An air cast is allowed to lead the starships in battle. A water cast is allowed to lead diplomacy on a planet. But the ethereal is the one who tells them more or less a general direction of where to do, what to go, what do they do, all that stuff. Now, the ethereal isn't particularly excellent in any of these fields, no. But when an ethereal is on the battle, or really just around the public, everyone gets a nice sense of unity all of a sudden. And all of a sudden, everyone's really tied to each other. They really feel better about themselves when there's an ethereal around. So what happens when an ethereal dies? When an ethereal dies, everyone's morale is shit. Even though they don't see him die, all of a sudden they're going to be inflicted, almost telepathically, with this deep sense of dread and morose. And it's interesting, really, because the Tau don't have psychers. I know, it's strange, right? How is it that they're so psychically linked, but have no psychers? They have no psychic potential. Well, those are 40K theories, and I'll leave you guys to look up some theories and some juicy details, or I may do a video later on about what I think about Tau psyker capabilities. Now, essentially though, what is it that you gotta know? The Tau are small, and the last time they engaged the Imperium on a grand conflict, they got their asses kicked. Big time. And ever since then, for the few hundred years, they've been just assimilating colonies through diplomacy rather than attacking them. Now, how do they do this? Subversion tactic is they essentially just give people stuff, and whoever bites, whoever's more radical and liberal and actually agrees with the Xenos in their open trade, I mean, it's a benefit, it's a win-win, and that's how the Tau will illustrate it. But over time, the Tau will offer you a chance to secede from the Imperium, in which case they will protect you. You'll get all of their cool stuff, and you're allowed to live and believe this the way you want. But the only problem is that Taus are communist. So when you're in a Tau society and you're a human, just know whatever place that they assign you is where you will be for the rest of your life. There is no, oh, okay, I'm going to be a farmer and then I'm going to go to college and become a botanist. No. No. Instead, it's going to be, you're a farmer. If you don't like being a farmer, you can always issue a claim at the center and we might deny you because the ethereal dictates we need more farmers, so that's where your Gwella looking ass is going to be. So, that was a Tau. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to go more in depth later on. This was just a brief introduction. I didn't mention the fact that the Tau contain many minor alien species inside their empire. I didn't address that. But I did address enough for you guys to really understand what the Tau is, so that way you guys know how to fight them, how they fight, how really their society functions. But we're going to go in greater detail in the next videos. So, just like that, see you guys next time.